Hey everybody, Austin here again with another Let's Play video. Today, as you can see, it's going to be Cadash for the Sega Genesis. Now, Cadash was an arcade game by Taito, ported to a variety of home consoles later on, including the Sega Genesis that we're playing here, and the TurboGrafx 16. And you can also get it on a variety of, actually not a variety of arcade compilations. I think this, as far as arcade compilations, it was only available on the Xbox version of Taito Legends Volume 2, which is a European exclusive. So if you want to play the arcade version, you've either got to go that route or do MAME. It might also be on one of the Japanese exclusive PS2 Taito compilations. I know there was more Taito compilations over there than in North America. But I digress. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a single-player game. And we're going to play as the fighter. I found that the mage to be just a little cumbersome. His attack is shorter ranged. He does have some awesome magic, but it takes a little while to charge it up, and not every magic attack is useful in every single situation. So I think we're going to have an easier time just playing as the fighter. So now Cadash, again, it was originally an arcade game. However, it had sort of non-linear and role-playing game elements. For instance, you had these text boxes and so forth. By just walking up to any character, you can press your attack and talk to anybody. You can get items like this. These are herbs, medicinal herbs, and these will be used automatically. If you press start, you can go to your status screen, which tells you how much gold you have, experience points, what level you're at, you know, your other stats like strength, agility, armor class, etc., etc. Then it tells you how many items you have, your medical herbs, your antidotes, and your elixirs. So the role-playing game elements are there, but it's actually very, very shallow. So for instance, all of your items, they get used automatically. So once your health hits 0, your medicinal herb is used automatically. When you die for good and you've run out of medicinal herbs, but you've got an elixir, it'll automatically use that and revive your health once more. If you're poisoned and you've got an antidote, it'll automatically use the antidote, and so forth. So again, it was an arcade game originally, so it's action first and foremost, eye-hand coordination first and foremost, and then grinding, leveling up, doing stat boosts to sort of help you along there, second most. That's not the forefront of the gameplay, but we are going to be doing some grinding, quite a bit of grinding in this playthrough actually, simply because I want to try to have the easiest time at this as possible. I actually streamed this on Twitch the other night, and I actually finished the game on my first try, but I did take a lot of damage. I did have a good bit of trouble in certain parts of the game, so hopefully this playthrough will be a little bit smoother, but I'm not the most familiar with Cadash. I beat it for the first time probably about 15 years ago, and then I haven't played it since, up until just the other night when I streamed it on Twitch. So we're gonna hope that we can get through this game without any problems. I make no guarantees as always. I mean, there might be that situation where I just get screwed and I can't beat the game. This game does have limited continues, so if you don't do it right your first try, or your second or third try, because I believe you get about 2 continues. So if you don't do it right within those 2 continues, then it's game over. You got to do it all over again. So we'll see what happens with this. So as you can see right here, I'm just doing some monotonous grinding. So if you hit start, you can see I've got 192 experience points. Killing these guys will give you more experience, so this will probably level me up. Oh, no. Okay, so they gave me 6 experience points, or that one guy did. And bam, we just leveled up. So these little bags that are being dropped, that's money. And so if we got 134 gold right now, pick this up, and we've got 136. So the gold's not worth a whole lot right now, but that's not a problem. It's the very beginning of the game. But what I'm going to do is go ahead and just grind out because I can. It's not... Actually, I don't even think it's all that time-consuming grinding in this game. But it's definitely worthwhile, I think. The biggest thing for grinding is that it does raise your HP whenever you level up. If you're the mage, it also increases your magic points, or your MP, which is very important because the mage, his best attacks use up MP. And he's got some really damn good attacks too, so I probably recommend grinding away with either of the two characters if you're playing this game for the first time. Expert players can probably just bolt right through the game without even grinding. Although I did try that the other night just for fun, and I didn't have much luck at that. So maybe that's not a good idea. Maybe no matter how good you are, it's still best to grind at least a little bit. So where are we? Oh, okay, we just got level 5. So let's see. Alright, so we got 414, kill 2 guys, and we got 420. So it looks like each one is giving me 3 experience points. Okay. And we haven't taken a hit yet, which is good. I mean, these are really easy enemies. If you get hit by these guys, it's kind of your fault. There are some enemies in this game that, and we're going to encounter some of them just immediately right away. There are these little spiders that run across the ground, and they shoot webs at you. And it's very difficult to avoid. There's a lot of enemies in this game that are actually, I would categorize as nuisance enemies. Just enemies that are very difficult to get around. And so, again, we'll kind of see how this playthrough goes. I was having a lot of trouble with a lot of the enemies the other night when I was playing this on stream. But now that I'm a little more familiar with the game, maybe I'll be able to deal with them and play a little bit better on this playthrough, but we'll see. So what do we got? 603. We're going to go ahead and just do our next level. I know it's going to take a little while, but what's nice is, like, these guys are just, like, doubling up. You'll notice that, the enemies respawn very much like in an earlier Mega Man game or a Ninja Gaiden game or something like that. You basically push them off the screen and then go back and they just instantly reappear. So it's just, it makes grinding super easy in this game. So yeah, we're already up to 711. I mean, it's not taking much time at all. The only hitch is if you leave the gold out, the enemies won't come. Because the game knows that that those gold pieces are for said enemies that normally you'd want to have respawning or force spawning the enemies. I don't even know what I'm saying. Sorry if that doesn't make any sense. So basically, like, the game knows that you know, because the gold is out, it's not going to respawn those enemies. But now that I picked it up, the enemies will come right back. So that's actually typical for certain old school games. I think basically what it is certain old school games might only allow a certain amount of enemies out on the screen at once, probably for performance reasons, in some cases anti-flicker reasons. In some of these old games, if you had too many objects on the screen at once, the game would just flicker like crazy, and so sometimes there were fail-safes put into place to prevent that from happening. So to keep too many objects from appearing on screen. So, okay, we're probably good. We've got pretty much double our experience points almost, or not quite, but in order to get our next level up. So that's going to take a while. So I think that's probably a good point to stop. We're 6 levels in. But of course, if I do kill any enemies, I'm going to pick up whatever gold I can get. Especially once I start taking damage. The medicinal herbs will come into use, and I'm definitely going to be using a lot of medicinal herbs in this playthrough. And when you use them, you need to buy some more. You don't actually pick up any medicinal herbs for the most part throughout your playthrough. You get them almost entirely through shops, aside from the beginning and towards the end where there's some more treasure chests. And these skeletons always drop down here, so you got to watch out for them. Oh, you weren't supposed to spawn yet. So there are these eyeballs you can't kill, you have to actually just jump over them like this. And we're gonna get to our, here's the spiders I was talking about. Let's see if we can do our, oh, that's how you do it, yeah, do your downward slash. I wonder how many experience points they give me. So I was at 121, they give me 5, not bad. You gotta watch out for these boulders too. This part actually gave me trouble the first time I played it, because, yeah, it just seems like they come out of nowhere. You've just got to be in the right spot if you want to avoid them. So I've already taken a good bit of damage, unfortunately. So I had full weight. Well, actually, I didn't take that much damage, now that I think about it, because I think we started with like 50-something HP. And when you level up, your health increases. Your max health increases. Your max HP increases. But the your life doesn't refill. So like, you know, I went from 50 HP to 88, but I was still at that said 50 HP when I got the level ups. Like it doesn't, when you level up in this game, it doesn't just replenish your whole health bar. It extends your health bar, but you still stay at the same HP you had. So if I level up right now, you'll see I'm at 30 HP of 88. If I level up, you know, the max number will extend, but I'll still be at 30 HP. So, God, I'm having a really hard time explaining stuff today. I guess I am not really that used to explaining stuff in like role-playing form, because I don't do many videos of games that have role-playing elements, to be honest with you. I've done, oh man, the only ones I've done have been of like in my casual look at series, where I basically will take a look at a game in a semi-review fashion, even though it's still kind of a let's play, but it's not. It's just more or less I am specifically there to explain the game and then walk away. I'm not there to beat the game like I am in this case. So like I've done Dragon Force for the Sega Saturn, Record of Lodoss War on the Dreamcast, and those might be some of the only role-playing games I've covered, or games with role-playing elements in them. So I'm just really not used to talking about games with RPG elements. Okay, so this was an inn, and I just paid $100 basically to refill my health. That's exactly what it does. So we've got a lot of gold already, which is nice, and we're gonna pick up a few items here. And the inn, I believe, is the farthest shack over on the left. Yeah, so you can't go to the left, just keep going to the right. Again, this is a very bare bones kind of experience. I mean, the action is fun, but the RPG elements are very, very shallow. So, and the Armory is where you pick up special items and, well, sorry, let me go back a step. Special weapon upgrades, I should say. So I bought a better sword, and I'm gonna buy better armor. And I believe this is only for the mage. Yeah, and that's only for the mage as well. So, again, super shallow. There's only, you know, 1 or 2 items per character in each of these armories that you visit. What's actually kind of interesting about this is that this only has 2 characters you can play as. However, the arcade version and the TurboGrafx version subsequently, they were both 4-player games, and thus they had 4 different characters you could play as. So, you know, there's a little more depth in those games, and we actually don't need to talk to this lady. The scripted moments in this game, you would think are triggered by talking to a certain character, but again, the game's RPG elements are so shallow that even the scripted moments in the game you can trigger without even talking to specific characters or anything like that. So that lady that I could have talked to, that old lady in that shack, she had a daughter that was apparently sacrificed to the Kraken, or put down to be sacrificed to the Kraken, and the townspeople are asking you to save her. And you would think, you know, in a normal game, you'd have to trigger that moment, saving the girl from the Kraken, by talking to the old lady. But in this game, you don't even have to talk to anybody for the most part. So here we are in one of the shops. This is where you can buy your herbs and so forth. And you can only carry up to 4 of each item. So I'm going to go buy these 4 antidotes. And this one down here, unfortunately, I can't buy. Now, what I think this is at first I thought these were the elixirs, but what I realize now is I think these are actually continues. So again, you get like 1 or 2 continues by default, but if you use these tokens, you can actually get more continues. I think that's how it works. So, and when you continue, you get all your health back, and you start fresh, basically. You actually just continue right where you died, but with a full health bar. So what I'm going to do is, if I can get some more money down here, I'm going to come back, buy a couple of those tokens, because I'm definitely going to need them. So this is kind of where like the non-linear elements start to come in. Like, right now I can't go down here, but I eventually get this ability on this level actually to where I can breathe underwater, and so that is basically a shortcut to get back to the town. So again, slight non-linear elements. I believe there's also an upgraded sword I get at the end of this place. Alright, so we're going to do, again, a little bit more grinding here. But it's a little bit trickier to grind here because you got these dudes that actually throw projectiles. And what's the experience? 1176. 1196. So they give you 20 experience points, which is good. And because they throw these projectiles and you got these frogs that bounce your way, it's a lot easier to take damage here. So we're going to try to play a little careful. So one thing I didn't really explain is by holding up and pressing attack, you can do this overhead attack, which again is very useful in the cases of like these frogs jumping on top of you. So, very good to know. So gold should also be, so we've got 752, now we're at 765. So yeah, the gold, you know, you get a little more gold per enemy now as well, which is nice. There's a tree over there that actually shoots a projectile, so you have to watch out for that as well. A lot of the projectiles in this game are very, like, faint looking, especially when they come from the trees. And so I knew that was gonna come because, you know, I grinded out on this section not too long ago when I played this on stream. But if I didn't know that was coming, I definitely would have gotten hit by it. Because it was so faint as it flew across the screen. It was literally just like a couple pixels, like, tall. Or a couple pixels in diameter. This is one of those Let's Plays I probably should have just, like, postponed for a little while, because tonight actually was my 12-hour shift at work. So one day a week I do a 12-hour shift at my job. And so this was technically my long day, and it's been several hours since I've gotten home from work as well. So I'm at that point where it's almost time for me to go to bed. Which is not always the best time for me to do a Let's Play. But, so my talking might not be the best right now. We're doing alright on the grinding though, I haven't taken too much damage, which is good. So this is, you know, this will get a little repetitive, especially when you're watching it. We're almost going to level up again. What I might do is just level up this next time and then continue on. Because one of the frustrating things about leveling up in this game is that it doesn't seem like it affects your attack power. It is strictly just max HP, and I believe it improves your armor class as well, basically your defense. I am pretty sure it affects your defense as well. So actually, when I level up, I want to see if my armor class builds up. Because I'm pretty sure I've had enemies do less damage as I've increased in my levels. But I guess we'll find out, for sure. Alright, we're just about to level up. This should do it. Not the frog, maybe this guy. Bam. So we were at armor... Yeah. Armor class just jumped up big time by like 5. So I am pretty sure leveling up does affect your defense, at the very least. Along with agility, apparently. I'm not really sure what that does, because... Yeah, I'm really not sure what the agility does, because your character moves the same the entire way through the game. So I'm not really sure what the agility is for. Or if it has any effect at all. If any of you guys know if it does, post a comment below and let me know. And if you guys have any information that can help with other people's understanding about this game, including my own, because I am not a Cadash expert. You know, this isn't Ninja Gaiden. This is Cadash, a game I've played like once in the last 15 years. So if you have any information, feel free to, or any details that I don't know about, feel free to post some comments below. Like, if you know what agility does it actually make a difference? Like, I would definitely love to know, and I'm sure other people would as well. So how close are we? 3376. We're actually leveling up at a decent pace. And this is probably a good idea, because I do want more money. I want more money so I can try to buy some of those tokens. Because some of the bosses towards the end of the game are kind of a pain. And actually, the boss in this level is a pain, for sure. Actually, no, it's not this level. It's the next boss after this that's kind of a pain. So... But after this point, we're going to do a whole lot less grinding. It's mainly these first two parts I remember grinding at. And then the rest of the game I was just kind of able to bolt through. Yeah, we're almost there again at a... Oh, no, we're not. We've got a long ways to go now. 2,200, though, for gold. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and just stick this out for a little while. Why not, right? Because those tokens are like 800 bucks a piece. So we might as well just try to get a lot of gold while we're here. Do one more level up. Oh yeah, we're still going pretty quickly. We're almost there at another level up. I thought it was going to take a lot longer than that. Again, still doing pretty well in damage. I haven't really taken too many hits, which is good. The first time I got here, I definitely took a lot more damage than I did today. So that's good. That's it. Oh, okay. No, you do, I am doing more damage now. I'm killing these guys in one hit. Okay. I was under the impression it was literally just your, I was under the impression it was literally just, like, the weapons you buy that allow you to do more damage. Okay. So... Actually, you know, maybe I am a teensy tiny bit faster? I almost feel like I am. It's just, you know what's interesting is, like, one level up, like, your stats will increase, but, like, your actual strength won't increase. Like, it'll still take 2 hits to kill these guys. But now it's definitely taking 1 hit. And I feel like I'm running a little bit faster now. So... It's kind of like, okay, you actually do want to grind then. Alright, so let's go ahead and just push on. Now, when you see, you know, drops like this, the enemies will follow you down. Of course, that blue dude's not following me down, but in the beginning of the game, you saw those skeletons follow me down the first time. So you need to be very careful about that. Enemies will just fall down. Oh, those guys poisoned me, so... Again, like I said, once you get poisoned, if you have antidotes, it'll use them automatically for you. Yeah, it's nice not having to take 2 hits for these guys. That's good. Alright, so we need to go to the left, which is going to be our boss fight. And then after that, this chick's going to lead us to the right, and then give us the power-up that allows us to go underneath water. So we have to beat the boss first, and then afterwards we can basically chop her free. The boss is just right here. Kraken is here, and he's angry. Now this boss is kind of annoying. Basically, he shoots 2 projectiles out. One when his arms are up, one when his arms are down. And it's actually quite difficult to hit this guy and still dodge the projectiles. So... yeah, I really hate some of these bosses in this game. They just so cumbersome. Like, if you want to get over to the left and try to jump over his projectile, it's really hard to because you get stuck on this ceiling here. So what I'm going to do is, I actually had Taito Legends Volume 2 on the original Xbox from Europe. And so what I really want to do is bust that out, play Cadash on that, and see how the arcade version stacks up. See if any of the things in the game are designed better. Same with the PC Engine version. I want to see if that version plays better, if the bosses are laid out better, if the bosses are easier as a result. So you're supposed to, like, follow this girl here, but you can just literally push forward and go through the door before she does. So again, like I said, the scripted elements in this game don't really require anything to happen other than you simply being there. Like, you can just in any typical RPG or game with RPG elements, normally you might have to trigger the event by being somewhere or talking to someone at a specific time. But in this game, you don't. You can just it says, "Oh, follow me here," and so normally you would think, "Oh, I'm gonna walk slow and just not move past, like not move off the screen." Until she does. But no, you don't have to. You can just run past her and go to where you need to be and she magically appears. So alright, so we're just gonna keep pushing on. So these sort of like maces can just be jumped over, although this one sort of do that number right there. Jumping twice works. If you're a little bit slower with your agility, you'll probably need to jump more than twice to get past that. There's an enemy. Oh, come on, again, you respawned. Not a fan of that kind of design either, where enemies are off screen and they just kind of fall into place. Surprise you. And of course, the guy that spawned in, also, because he was off screen, he just magically respawned. Even though... Never mind, I'm not going to explain it. I can't even fucking explain stuff right today. Oh, I just let some cursing slip too. Normally I'm pretty good about that on my Let's Plays. I apologize. Pardon my French, guys. So this is the Armory. We're gonna upgrade our... Oops. I pressed C. You need to press B whenever you want to accept things in this game. And if you press A or C, it backs out automatically. So here's our sword. Yes, I would like something else. And here's a shield. And no, we are good. We bought both the shield and the sword. And this is the flame sword. It's got a projectile. Not all that useful, actually, believe it or not. It's a fairly weak projectile. So what we're going to do is come down here, and we're going to go back to the town so we can buy a bunch of those tokens. And again, this is kind of where like the non-linear elements come into play, so I don't have to backtrack, but I can. The game allows me to, which is cool. So, whereas most arcade games with... you know, RPG elements, they might force you along a set path, like beat-em-ups like King of Dragons, which has experience points and whatnot. You can't just backtrack and grind in that game, but in this game you can. It's really interesting. So let's pick up some antidotes. Yes. And, okay, I'm maxed out. I only used one. And so I'm going to pick up as many tokens as I can. Oh, I'm out of money. You know, I think we're probably fine with just 2. That's... I'm thinking maybe I should just go back and just earn some more money. I'm like, hey, why not? No, we'll go ahead and push on. This Let's Play is already taking some time. And I know we've still got a good portion of the game to go, so... We've got a few bosses to beat. Bunch of different places to go to, so we'll go ahead and just push on. I think we can do it. I mean, I did it yesterday in my first try, and I'm a little more well practiced now after playing the game a couple times on stream. So I think we'll be fine. So in this place, you need to just come all the way down. There's this cliff on that second doorway up there, but we don't... we're gonna go straight left here. If we go into that door, we go to this area with these little gnomes that you can talk to, but it's not necessary to talk to them. Yeah, these spiders here, man, they are super annoying. Actually, you know, we're gonna have to grind some more here too. So we got 5835, 5859. Whoa, they give me a lot of experience points. Yeah, we're gonna have to grind again. I forgot about this part. So one tactic you can use here is, oops. When you hold your sword out and you press in the opposite direction really quickly, you'll actually do an attack immediately behind you. Same with ducking, or rising up from a ducking attack. Apparently if you do an overhead swipe, you can do it too, so every single one of those positions will hurt the enemies. And since these guys take a bunch of hits, it's kind of the only way to deal with this section without taking damage. And you're noticing, you're probably noticing that I'm not going too far to the right because I don't want to respawn that spider, which will poison me. Because I know I'll get hit by it. And the thing is, if you get poisoned in this game and you don't have any antidotes, the poison continues until you die. Like, you will die. So it's one of those things where it's just not even worth dealing with. Like, you just don't get poisoned, especially if you don't have any antidotes. The boss of this area will poison us, so there's a great chance that we're gonna get wrecked at this boss. Alright, I think we're getting close to leveling up again. I mean, this is actually working out. Now, I've got it just right to where I'm not having to fight both of them at once. Oh, spoke too soon. Alright, killing them in one hit now, so that's good. We could probably just continue on now. We got a lot of gold from that, too. I mean, I kind of don't want to continue. They're still giving me a ton of experience points, so when they give me a ton of experience points, it's just like, well, I can grind super easily and just get those level ups while I can, while it's still easy. Yeah, we're getting about 70 experience points per enemy right now, so I mean, 2 enemies is 140, then it's 210, and then it's, you know, so you're just building experience really quickly at this point. And whenever I play a role-playing game, you know, if I get to an area where, like a legitimate, like, turn-based JRPG or something like that, now if I get to an area where enemies give me a ton of experience points, then I usually just milk it until it becomes not worth milking anymore, like, just to make my life easier. Yeah, we're already about to level up again. I mean, these guys are giving me a ton of experience points. And the great thing is I'm getting a ton of gold at the same time. They're still giving me the exact same amount of experience points, so it's just like, man. So this might not be the most entertaining thing to watch. You know, you guys are like, oh, he's just going back and forth again and again, but like, it gives you an idea of what to do if you're having problems with this game. You know, some people have told me that Cadash is a tough game, and I was thinking to myself, like, really? I don't remember it being a tough game, and I think this is why. I think the first time I ever beat this game, I just grinded like crazy, which will make the game considerably easier. No, I'm definitely faster now. So the agility does, in fact, do something. All your stats do something. It just wasn't obvious at first. We're about to level up again. I'm beginning to think these guys just give you too much experience. I wonder if the arcade version had a timer or something like that. Kind of like Gauntlet Legends, where like your health would tick down. So maybe the game like would kind of force you along the path. Otherwise you'd die and you'd have to put another quarter into the machine. Or 50 cents if that's what it cost. But I don't know. I played the arcade version once when I was a kid. I was probably like 8 years old when I played the arcade version. I was really, really young. Another level up. Look at this. I've leveled up, and yet the fireball is still pretty much useless. 25505. Yeah, it's still leveling up relatively quickly, I think. Alright, I think I'm going to go ahead and push on now because it's going to take a little bit longer now. Yeah, these spiders, you pretty much have to down thrust them. And so in order to do that, you just hold down an attack when you're in the air. Yeah, this fireball is so weak. Not entirely useless when you can, like, you know, use it to take out certain enemies, like those floating heads that shoot out the lightning bolts. You shoot them from a distance, and then it works, but... Alright, so here's our boss fight. And this guy is a pain, like I said. Yeah, and he poisons you too. He's really hard to jump over. But apparently we were so badass and beefy in our levels that we killed him in like 6 or 7 hits. So, okay. Well, I can't complain. Leveling up was really good then. We would have definitely died to that guy if I wasn't leveled up. So now we basically have to just work our way back. Alright, so I got the silk, and that's going to allow us to go to this area we wouldn't have been able to go to at first. I think, you know, there might even be an inn here. Actually, no, I think this guy... What does he give us? Oh no, it's a chick, yeah. Oh, it's not an inn. It's just, oh yeah, this raises my hit limit. That's good. Yes, we need to buy all of our antidotes. Alright, we're maxed out on antidotes. Again, you can only carry 4. And I haven't used an herb yet. And what I'm going to do is try to milk as many of these bells of life. I have so much money. Oh, you can only do 4? That sucks. No, I don't want anything else. I wanted to extend my health bar further. I've got $13,000 to spend. Yeah. Let me extend my health as much as I can. You do want to make money, right? I thought you could just, like, buy them infinitely, basically, as long as you had the cash, but apparently not. So, that's something new I just... Whoa, I'm, like, flying up this thing. Yeah, agility definitely makes a difference. So, if you go to the left here, you go to this, gnome village out top. I'll just show it to you real quick. But, it requires you to shrink. Because everybody's is tiny and all the little houses and huts are tiny and you can't enter them without shrinking. So going through this next part will give us what we need to shrink, and we'll hit that town again from the opposite direction. So if you come here first, you can't get up this cliff. They call it a cliff. I don't really know why. It's not really much of a cliff. It's more like a ledge that you just can't reach. But they call it a cliff. And so by defeating that boss, we got the silk of the worm, which allowed us to basically make a makeshift rope and climb on up. Now this part, you really got to watch out for these guys coming out from the ground. Oh, it's not good? Ugh. Yeah, you've got to take this part really slow, and I'm not. I'm just slamming into enemies. There's a couple points in this game where you literally can't just hold left or right. Like, you have to actually stop and react to enemies and so forth. Otherwise, you're going to take damage. And if you do want to play like that, constantly jumping and down thrusting might be the way to go. It's kind of like, yeah, like, I mean, this works. Sort of. Yeah, I guess that works. Okay, new strategy. And again, since you can't use items manually, it basically just automatically uses items for you as long as you have them. So now I'm super tiny, and we're gonna get some new weapons. And I believe there's gonna be a portal in one of these huts, which is gonna warp us to our next area. And that's only for the mage, okay. So one thing you probably noticed is that when you upgrade your armor and weapon, it actually shows in your character, which is pretty cool. I like that. Later on in the game, you get this gold armor and you look like a complete badass, basically. Alright, so we're gonna refill our health. And I think we already have everything we need here, but just in case. Yeah, we didn't even get poisoned again. So we need this. This is a silver key. It's a very popular item and can only be found here. Coincidentally, because there's a silver door to the left, which is going to take us to our next area. I can't carry any more of it. Yeah, it's a constant item you always have from here on out. And what I want to do is actually go to the right. I don't think there's anything else I missed, but just in case. Yeah, this is probably just like a story arc here that doesn't really make a difference. So a lot of the characters in this game will mention the Balrog, and that's basically the final boss in the game. You have to fight him twice, and the second time he's basically the exact same as he was the first time with a couple extra moves. A little bit of padding involved, but you guys will see once we get there, which actually probably won't be that long from now. We're actually probably about 3/4 of the way through the game now. If this is, yep, we're 3/4 of the way through the game. You're gonna have a bunch of zombies here, and I really don't think we're gonna have to start leveling up again. Let's just see. So, 987. Yeah, they're not giving me that many experience points, so we don't even have to really grind at all here, so we're just gonna push right forward. I'm really surprised those stone golems gave me so many experience points. Okay, this part's a little tricky. You've got these lightning drops. You have to stop the second they appear on screen, otherwise you slam into them. So I'm kind of just going back to demonstrate. Just like that. It's actually pretty tough to stop right in front of them. In this cliff right here, that's pretty much where we're going to come back out of after we go through this whole place. And I'm just going to skip a lot of these enemies if I can. So that person that just ran past me is a bandit. And we're eventually going to have to jump through this wall here, which unfortunately we can't do yet. We have to eventually talk to this dog. You guys will see what I mean in a few minutes once we get there. No, these guys actually take 2 hits. Okay. They give me good experience points, though. Yeah, they're giving me pretty good experience, so I'm gonna go ahead and grind out these guys a little bit too. Why not? I think when I beat the game last time, I was at level 19, which is where I am right now. But we haven't even beaten the game yet, so I'm gonna be a couple levels higher by the time I get there, I'm sure. Just to abuse the spawn points. Yeah, they're giving me 110 each time. Yeah. Okay. I thought they were giving me like 90. So we basically need to kill 12 more and we'll level up again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Ooh, 11. That's right, because they give me 110 each time. And now I basically need twice the experience, so we're not going to grind out the next set. We need to kill like... we need to kill 300. So, yeah, no thanks. We'll just keep moving on. I mean, I'll kill whatever comes my way, why not? What's funny is, like, they're giving me some items now, but I actually don't need them because, I'm already maxed out on them. Alright, this part's actually a little bit tricky. So you got these, like, central cores that have these, like, streams of fire. They just rotate around. Elixir of Life. See, that's good. There we go. That's my first elixir. So yeah, those tokens I was getting, those are definitely continues. The Elixir of Life is basically as good as a continue, but it doesn't cost you a continue. It just, when you get down to 0, it just gives you all your health back, I believe. Okay, here's some traditional arcade-style platforming. Just like a lot of games of this nature, your timing is everything on those parts. And we're gonna the end, even though I don't really need it, but I'm gonna take it anyway, just, you know. The game does prioritize, if you got like two enemies, two NPCs on top of each other, it prioritizes the one that's on top. So like this lady was walking in front of the innkeeper, and so If you try to talk to the innkeeper, you can't. You have to talk to the person that's in front of the innkeeper. So you gotta wait for them to walk away like that. Alright, so upgrade our stuff once more. So we got a helmet and a shield. Something to note is that the shields can block projectiles. I don't think we need to come in here. Again, pretty much story-wise and like quest-wise, you don't need to talk to anybody to trigger anything. Oh, we actually needed to talk to her though. Otherwise this charm wouldn't have come out. So now we're gonna go through this door and it's gonna take us back up to the top area outside. We're gonna get the ability to speak to dogs or animals, but really the only animals you encounter are dogs. Not counting enemies, of course. And then we're going to come back down, jump through that wall like I said, and then fight our boss. And then once we fight the boss, we're going to come back out up top. Watch out for the lightning. See, I just got hit by it. But yeah, it's only taking 1 HP away now, so it's kind of like, I might as well just get hit by it. Slop is never good though, because you might end up paying the price in the end. Obtained Abel's charm. Now he may communicate with animals. Alright, we can talk to this dog. So basically there are these bandits that killed Abel, apparently, whoever Abel is. So you're kind of avenging this dude's death that you don't even know. But that leads us to here. And we have to kill this fire elemental, or something like that. Yeah, fire elemental. And after defeating this guy, which is actually really easy, you just have to dodge this fire. Of course, I'm so beefy right now. It's not really doing much damage to me at all. Yeah, 1 HP. Which is cool. And we just killed it. And the magic flute will allow us to get to the final castle in the game. You know, agility might even affect how fast you attack, because I'm attacking faster now with the overhead attack than I was before. Look at that. It's like you can barely even see it, it's so fast. So that's interesting. Those are things I definitely did not notice when I was playing this the first time, the other day. Alright, so this is our last castle. And we're gonna fight the Balrog in here. We're gonna need the gold key, which is at the top of the castle. Now, I don't remember exactly where I had to go. Another elixir of life, that's good. So I'm at 046. 39196. Okay, so they're giving me good experience. What about this guy? Yeah, they're all giving me pretty good experience. Yeah, almost 200 each. That's one of those things where I might as well try to grind out a little bit. So I remember I was at about level 19 when I got here the other night, and the final boss took a lot of hits. And if I can level up a little bit more, it'll probably take a little bit less. Approximately about half the amount of hits, I think. Well, maybe not. This is going to take a long time. Yeah, we'll skip it. Yeah, and these are items I don't need. Antidote. Money. Can always use more money, I guess. Maybe. That guy actually took some health off of me. Where'd you go? Yeah, it's tough to avoid those. And it looks like they're actually doing decent damage too, so we're finally taking some damage. Oh yeah, this is, we fight some of these bosses again, basically. In slightly different forms. So we're gonna have to fight the worm again as well, unfortunately. And we need to talk to her. And she gives us the gold key. Oh, that's right. She doesn't give me the gold key. I have to come down here and find the gold key. Oh, I didn't really need a... Oh, okay, elixir. You know what? The elixirs are red. And I think the antidotes are red too, so it's kind of hard to tell them apart. This is where we get our gold armor as well. And there we go. Best everything in the game. There's our gold key. Oops, wrong door. So now we basically have to go back. So what's funny kind of right here is that there's actually this invisible wall, basically. And you can't actually jump off this rope. It's kind of interesting. Just right here. You'll notice like it looks like you're hitting a ceiling. So you can't actually jump off. It's something I noticed on stream the other day. You know, what I wanted to do is get to the top and just like try to jump all the way down to the bottom, but you can't. The game won't let you. Alright, so I think we're gonna have to fight the worm again on the way back down. Oh, dude barely gives me any experience points. It's like 20. Yeah, the game clearly doesn't want me to get past level 20 at all. The experience points dished out are really unbalanced in this game. Like, you can grind up to your max at one part earlier on in the game, yet enemies in the final castle don't really do anything experience-wise. It's a little shaky on the experience points balance. That's right, this is where we fight the worm again. I really don't like this boss at all, man, because like it just seems like you can't really avoid some of his attacks. Like right here, what am I supposed to do? I can't avoid that. It's unavoidable. You really need to wait until he gets back down on the ground like that. If he's up in the air, like, don't bother trying to attack him. Like right here, just wait, jump. Okay, there we go. You can avoid it. We just figured it out. I got so spoiled on that first boss fight against him. He only took like 6 or 7 hits. Alright, so this is the final boss, part 1. And he's actually got 2 forms. He's this guy right here, then he turns into this big dragon. So all of our health has been depleted, so at this point we're going to be using our herbs back to back. And we knocked his head off. And this big dragon appears. When he uses that fire attack, you kind of want to be at a distance. He's got this tail, which is such a pain to deal with as well. As you guys can tell, I'm not that familiar with this boss. I am not the most familiar with this game in terms of the patterns, how to deal with the patterns, etc., etc. So yeah, this is not one of those games that I'm just a master at like I am in other games you guys have seen me play through before. So it's definitely a little sloppy. And we still got 3 elixirs, so we basically have to fight the boss again. And, but at the beginning of the game. Actually, what I need to do, I think, is just come back here. Yeah, here it is. And we gotta fight him again. Although now he has a couple of different attacks, but for the most part, it's the same fight. And I'm just skipping through all the stories, you guys can tell. If you'd like to soak in the glorious story yourself, you can play the game. I actually have a tendency of skipping the story a lot when I do these Let's Plays, just to save time. So every time you hit him, he reverses his direction. I actually don't even really care if I get hit, I guess. I mean, I've got all these elixirs that give me my health back when it depletes down to 0. But if you're the kind of person that wanted to try to beat this game without grinding or leveling up, then you would have to learn the patterns. That's right, he jumps now too. Yeah, so the Elixir of Life gives you all of your health back. And we just beat the game. Oh man, this would make a great drinking game. The story is so shallow in this game. It's like, this princess I literally just met, she says she's already going to miss me, and it's, you can just, you can make fun of the story in this game so badly if you really wanted to. It's just, the story just feels so shoehorned in, you know, Like, who is this chick here? I have no idea. We just met her, like, literally 5 minutes ago in game time. So, and I'm supposed to feel attached to her now? I don't know. It's just, it's funny to just look at it that way. But, still, guys, that was Cadash. It's a fun game. I think it's definitely worth playing on the Sega Genesis. I'm gonna have to try the PC Engine version now, as well as the arcade version, which I haven't played since I was a kid. But the Genesis version, from what I understand, is the weakest of the bunch, but it's still a fun game. Still definitely worth playing through. And it's not very difficult if you grind and get your items and stuff like that, and, you know, buy your potions and whatnot. But, yeah, if you made it to this point in the video, feel free to post a comment down below and let me know. What I'm curious to know is if you've actually played this game before, or if you're just checking out this video just out of curiosity's sake. Or maybe you had trouble with this game at one point in time and you needed some help. But definitely post a comment, let me know. That'd be cool to hear. But that's basically it, guys. I don't really have a whole lot else to say. Again, Cadash for the Sega Genesis. Check it out if you haven't before. It's fun. And yeah. So I'll be back with some more videos sometime soon, guys. Most likely some more Let's Plays. And until then, take it easy.